Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marcello Currents reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-Freemason all day, anti-witchcraft all day, anti-psychic all day, anti-telepath all day. So this message basically is going to be about America having child marriage since 1957. So that's the part of the update. That's part of the update. The update is they had child marriage back in 1957. That's what the Lord has blessed me with. That's the new part of the campaign. That's why I'm telling you, this campaign is ongoing and progressive. Ongoing and progressive. It's a movement. A movement, and I gotta do a video about this. Let's define what a movement is. A movement is moving. A movement moves. That's why it's called a movement. And many of these so-called movements are not moving. You feel me? They ain't moving like I'm moving. Ow. You know, they ain't got this kind of information. And for all my critics that may think that I keep talking about the same thing, nah, that's just the one-track minded perspective in you. This is a movement. I've built a movement off of this situation. And the movement is moving. Okay? The information is ever progressing. The situation is ever progressing and moving. Okay? So the next movement, if you will, in the movement is the fact that they've had child marriage. This is new information. Because I didn't know how far it went back. It's been something that's been lingering in my mind for like almost a year. And I just didn't, for whatever reason, I just didn't go and see where the origins of this child marriage came from, what years it started and all of that. And it just in this time, and when I was seeking the Lord, I went on the 7-day fast, and I give all God the glory for that. And during that time of fasting, at the end of the fast, the Lord showed me that this has been going on since 1957, which means it has not stopped since 1957. That's what that means for people that may not understand. Child marriage has been going on since 1957, and it never stopped since 1957, which means child marriage has covered in your country called America the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, and the 1990s. And those are the 4 best decades, hand down, at least to black people. The best decades are 1960, 1970, 1980, and 1990. Those are the best 4 decades of ask any black person. Now these white people, I don't know. They might give you all kind of crazy answers. I'm not being racist. I'm not racist. People already know that. They may give you all kind of funny answers. But for black people, you ask somebody black, they're gonna say the best decades of America being here was the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. And during those 4 decades, America had child marriage the whole time. So through all those good decades of music, uh, funk, dancing, food, all that good stuff, they had child marriage the whole time. See, I need you to realize this, because when you realize it, you're gonna realize they didn't really have the integrity right. I'm gonna say the integrity right to be locking anybody up, to be playing around anybody. Michael Jackson, nobody. Not Eddie Murphy, excuse me. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, they had no business playing with specifically R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby. I'm not saying if they did wrong things, because they have child marriage, it makes it all right. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you don't have, honestly, the integrity to prosecute anybody by your law system concerning sexual integrity or the lack of it when you have child marriage. Your law system is because it gives laws to allow people to have sex with children. How can they lock anybody up? That's what I'm saying. It's almost like saying, all right, me one person, right? If I'm one person, right? Okay, I have the power to give rights. Okay, as one person, I'm talking about me. I have power to give uh, rights for people to marry children, right? Okay, boom. So I can do that. You know what I'm saying? And and then, but okay, I'm doing that, and I've been doing that since 1957. But then I started locking up people for having sex with the same age of children. But yet I give rights for this person to go take the child home, and they married the child, so they can take the child home. But I locked this other guy up for being with the same age of child. So how can I have authority altogether? Because it doesn't make sense with real life. Because I'm locking this man up. I'm locking this man up. You know what I mean? And then at the same time, I'm letting this man do the same thing. So that makes my law system invalid altogether, because it doesn't have real morality. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have real integrity. It doesn't make sense according to integrity. It doesn't make sense according to morality. That's what I'm saying. It don't make sense according to morality. Okay, so it's invalid. A law system is about what is right and wrong, right? So how does this law system in America make sense according to what's right and wrong? And you got child marriage that's dating back to 1957. But then at the same time, according to what's right and wrong, right, they having sex with children, right? You let that be. But then over here, you lock another cat up for being with the same age of kid. So back to a law system being about right and wrong. How can it actually be validated as right, a system that projects what's right and wrong? You feel me? So it's like, nah. That's what makes the law system of America invalid. That's why it's going to cause anarchy. That's what I'm trying to show you. It's going to cause anarchy. It's going to cause anarchy. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say, you know. So that's where we're headed, whether people like it or not, because see, you're nonchalant about it, hoping it doesn't come all the way out. You know, the secret societies and Freemasons all around me. They want to make sure it don't come out, but it's gonna come out. It's already coming out. I'm on Facebook everywhere. I'm not just doing videos. what you did was try to attack my videos and make sure and monitor the videos. I already know that because I already seen the trolls. I know they watching. So if I see the trolls, I know you're watching. So, but that's not my only avenue for getting the information out. Oh, I tell you everything. This is God's kingdom. I'm not relying on man's kingdom. You know what I'm saying? I'm relying on God and his angels, and I have a real relationship with God. You know what I mean? You know, I'm doing this all for the people that didn't make it, but that we was all trying to fight for the same struggle to beat the secret societies, like Prodigy from Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that coined that term, and most people, especially young kids, might not know it. But the Illuminati, one, my mind, soul, and my body, secret society, trying to keep their eye on me. You know, that was Prodigy right there. That was Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? From Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? So keep in mind, Havoc from Mobb Deep heard my music personally, so he liked my music. So that's why I didn't have that's why I'm good with not doing the music anymore, because I was validated by a guy like that, Havoc. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that stopped me, but it gave me a sense of validation that is satisfying for life. You know what I'm saying? So that's real hip hop. Boom, out. You know what I'm saying? So for him to validate me, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here wishing on other situations or wishing on other, thinking like what could have happened here and there. You know, I got validated. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, you know, I do it for the likes of people like that, Prodigy was speaking out, and then surprisingly, he died in a hospital from strangulation on eggs, which to me was the Freemasons, probably a Freemason nurse that inclined the bed like that to where when he was eating, he would choke on the eggs. So why was his bed, you know what I'm saying, inclined up like that to the point where he couldn't, you know what I'm saying, eat the eggs properly. His neck wasn't upright to eat the eggs properly. Come on, man. That probably was Freemasons all in that hospital. That's what it was. Now that I know how they move, that's exactly probably what it was. It was Freemasons all in that hospital. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, here I am, man, on top. You know what I'm saying? Smashing. You know what I'm saying? For him and the likes of him, man. People that kept it 100, man, rather go with the truth instead of, trying to be in this corny cornball limelight that's going on in America. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather shine in the truth, man, because at the end of the day, man, if you really pay attention, people start out funky, man. They start out like the streets, but then they lose their way, like as far as the funk, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't keep the same funk all the way to the top. Out, you know what I'm saying? Once you get there, you start getting corny with these corny people, but you do it for the sake of money. But then it's people like Prodigy, man, he kept his funk, you know what I'm saying? Because he kept sticking with the truth, you know what I'm saying, at the top. And a lot of people can't, do that. They don't, and to me, I doubt they funk, you know what I'm saying? I doubt that they had it in the first place or enough of it sufficiently. How about that? But you got child marriage here in America, okay? It's a new day. Everybody want to say new era, new world order. God decides if even that happens. And I'm going to do a video about that. I'm going to do a video just about that. Because all of you act like the new world order is a God in itself. Or it doesn't have to happen. Okay? That's my faith. That's why, that's my faith. It doesn't have to happen. Who says it has to happen? Man is always promising something to happen. And is ever failing, right? Okay? So it's up to God for that if he wants that to happen. And you could talk about prophecy, but maybe you're a Freemason, an undercover Freemason, and you want it to happen. Maybe you want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? One thing you would not see me talk about is all this new world order and all this one world government stuff. Because my faith is it don't have to happen. Because see, my enemy's thinking, well, that's how we're gonna beat them right there. We're gonna beat them with the one world government. We're gonna beat them with the Antichrist. We're gonna beat them. We're gonna beat them with the one world government. We're gonna beat them with the new world order. You sure about that? You sure about that? Are you can you be 100% positive about that? You can't, can you? Because see, let me tell you something that these philosophers and scholars and theologians haven't told you about all this theology that they study or studying from a theologian's perspective. God don't have to do this. God can change his mind. I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care how you can say it's prophecy. You can say whatever you want to say because see, I figure some of these Christians are Freemasons undercover, and you want a new world order to happen. So you talking about, so you're saying it undercover to say this is how we gonna beat these Christians. This is how we gonna beat them. So you act like a preacher talking about the new world order, and it has to happen. But you're insinuating that this is how we're gonna beat you. You follow me? That's how I'm starting to pick it up. Like this is how you saying you gonna beat me, ain't you? But God doesn't have to do it. God doesn't have to let it happen. I don't care how much money men have. See, one thing that's the trump card over the whole situation is God owns the earth. He can do anything with it. If God wants a storm to come, a meteorite to hit America, just something you didn't expect with the weather, the earth itself, what are you going to do with all your money? Huh? What you going to do? Okay? You ain't going to be able to do nothing. Okay? You got child marriage here since 1957. That means all my enemies, it's a new day, it's a new era. It's a new time. And it doesn't necessarily signify a new world order. It signifies, first of all, your defeat this new day. Because going into it, we hitting the ground running with America being at fault with 43 states of child marriage, having child marriage dating back to 1957. And Russia doesn't have child marriage, and China does not have child marriage either. Okay? And that's where you lose. That's where you lose, buddy. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm sorry to tell you. That's where you lose it. Because nobody's trying to hear that. Because you've done too much as though you were protecting the community. You did too much as though you are protectors. And you can be individually. You can say, I know myself and you can't tell me who I am. True enough. But you did not act alone. You acted as an officer, an ambassador, an enforcer of American perspective, and it wasn't true. Okay, that's a part of your back. It's a string in your back, a chain in your back. So when we go back to what you're linked to, you see what I'm saying? You telling me you're gonna come out of that unscathed because you were connected to a system that has child marriage, and you acted as a defender of the land, right? Let's look at it for what it is. You acted as a defender of the land, and this land has 43 states of child marriage. You acted like you was defending this land, and come to find out this land has child marriage. Okay, so if you was aware of that, you would realize that in the case of enforcing uh, laws, see where we at? What can you enforce when you got that situation? But you're trying to be an enforcer of laws, right? But you can't do it when you realize the lack of integrity that they have. You can't do it. You know what I mean? And I know you thought I was tripping, but well, like I said, like I've asked all these psychiatrists and all these people who study the brain, okay, so what's the situation on these people that got made child marriage? Are they sound minded? You telling me they sound minded? You telling these people who made child marriage is sound minded people according to their environment, according to their culture. You got to add that all in there to make them sound minded, because their mind has to see and look around and see all of this that's going on with, like, knowing that how these people think, right? You and still having the audacity to pass child marriage laws, knowing, remind you, the last child marriage law was passed 3 years ago under the Donald Trump administration. They had to override all of how the culture thinks. Now these lawmakers have to study science of their culture, science of their people, science of how the people think. They have to understand those sciences. It's not just, that's what people got to understand. I got to do a video about this too. All these people that make laws, they have to understand culture science and different sciences of the humans, of the humanity. Okay, right? So in understanding all that science, understanding that how the people think, and being relevant with, when you pass a law, you have to come back to you have to be relevant with what the people think. And if you come back to studying these sciences and then go study the people, and you find out that, this is how they think, right? Before you pass such a law, you're going to go check the relevant science of the social aspect of your community, right? That's what you're going to go do, right? Okay, so doing that, you would find that most people here are not cool with anything about no child marriage. But yet, here we are 3 years later, where they done passed child marriage laws here. So you telling me they sound minded? That's what I'm saying. Everyone wants to question everyone's sanity these days, but they don't question the people that do the craziest stuff. Like, literally. Okay? Because to me, it's crazy to look at, if I was a politician, to look at the social science of the community, look at the public science here, and see how they think and everything, right? See how they think and everything, right? Know how they feel about this child marriage. I'm not just gonna hop and pass laws like this. I'm gonna go and use my degree of social science and public science, and I'm gonna do an assessment on the community based on social science, right? And I'm going to come to a conclusion that they either are for child marriage or they're not. So they had to go past all of that, their degrees in social science and public science, humanity, all of that, right? American social studies in general. They had to go past all of that, right? and still pass child marriage laws, knowing the social science is that these people are crazy for children. And you telling me they're sound-minded, overriding the fact of how the community thinks, and still passing child marriage laws July 1st, 2019. Think about July 1st, 2019. That was just a year before COVID. That was just a year before COVID. That's not a long time ago. That's what I'm trying to show you. And yet they passed child marriage laws. You don't think that deserves judgment? Because no one felt that way about children at that time, right or wrong. A year before COVID, did the American community want to marry children? A year before COVID. A year before COVID, did anybody want to marry children? A year before COVID, you feel the same way you did, right? Your mind hasn't changed that much, drastically, right? In the past 3 years, your mind has not drastically changed, right or wrong. Okay, so you felt this. It's safe to say that most of the people feel the way they feel now then. So why they passed child marriage laws 3 years ago then? Knowing how the people think, having degrees in social science. These are not dummies. Having degrees in social science, bro. And they can try to make up all the excuses. I would always worked out my situation. You know what I'm saying? I will always work out. God will always lead me through. You don't have to do anything for me. Because some of these great people say, well, we did it for people that was accused of things. So to throw the intention off of them. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they did do it for them. I don't know. But if you ever thought I thought about marrying a child, you done lost your mind. That has never crossed my mind, buddy. Hey, for those who are busy trying to watch people's brains and stuff and all of that stuff, let's talk about this. Hey, I ain't never thought about marrying no children. Like, I want to marry me a child. Come on now. You see how bizarre that is? But yeah, here we are, man, where people have married children. And people have thought to pass laws for other people to marry children. It's all bizarre. Both sides are bizarre in that situation, right or wrong. And you telling me they sound-minded. The people that's doing it and the people that's passing laws for other people to do it. That's another thing. I don't think anybody has the right to question anyone's sanity anymore. You can help people. If you know people need mental help, but to be going around here demonizing somebody's mind, I don't see how you can bring yourself to do it. Because you got child marriage that's the most horrific. Even stone cold killers have never thought about marrying no children. I ain't never thought about that. That's a different lane of evil. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and if you've had a child, you feel like that even more so. See, what my enemies fail to forget is that my child is 16 years old. Yeah, keep that in mind. Keep that good in mind. Excuse me. Yeah, I got an 18-year-old child. 16-year-old child. Right now, he's alive right now for people that slow. You know what I'm saying? Which is a testament of what I do. You know, it's time to get past all of these fables and folklores and get you back to real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they want to be around that way of thinking around people who they esteem as thorough, but they don't keep it on at all times. You only do it around people you think real, but you don't keep your real cap on at all times. That's why some of your caps get knocked off, because you didn't keep your real cap on at all times. I keep mine on at all times. Now you got somebody that caught you slipping. You got 43 states of child marriage. And if somebody like Bob Marley was telling you this, what would you do? So to me, you're only real with certain people. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm gonna do a video about this too. You're only real with certain people. And this is a perfect example. If Gandhi was telling you, you got 43 states of child marriage in America, Gandhi, right? Bob Marley was telling you, you have 43 states of child marriage in America. You passed your last child marriage law 3 years ago. You see the difference in your perspective? But that means to me, you don't keep your real hat on at all times. You don't keep your thorough hat on at all times. You put it off and on with individuals and certain individuals. I keep mine on at all times. That's what Christians do. I don't know. I can't speak for anybody else. That's what we do. We stay thorough at all times. You know what I'm saying? And it's people out here. You know, you'll put your posture up when certain people come around. You know, you'll talk that real language, that thorough language when you perceive someone thorough around. You know what I'm saying? But then you'll drop it and be a cornball and a sucker when you relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you can't be relaxed and be silly or nothing like that. But I'm saying people don't live in it. You know what I'm saying? Like they project they do. Like they live in it. Like they're about that life and we see it from this issue like this, because if it was a Bob Marley individual or someone of that stature or caliber, you know, he's not the only one of that caliber. Like it's many people. You know, if you had someone of that caliber, then then you will change your position if they're telling you, you feel me, that there's child marriage in America. You know, now you're gonna change your position. You feel me? And that's the sucker in you. You gotta check yourself, because I don't care who tells me information. I got to do a video about this concerning this information, because I don't care who tells me this information. You know, it doesn't take some superstar to tell me this information. It doesn't take me somebody who I respect as a legend like Bob Marley to tell me this information. It doesn't take LeBron James to tell me this information. If LeBron James told you that 43 states has child marriage, you would instantly think the world is ending. You know how a bird, you know how they get like pets to like fall over and stuff like that, like they dead. You ever seen videos like that? Like they'll shoot the dog, like they'll point to the dog and shoot, like fake shoot the dog like they own pets. People make video of them with their pets, and they'll like point like they got a gun and like they shooting at the dog, and the dog slumps over. That's how you would act if LeBron James told you 43 states had child marriage. You would slump over. Oh. That's the sucker in you. It's not the sucker in them. It's not their fault. It's your fault. It's your community's fault. That's the sucker in you. Like anybody that tells me information that I know is real, like it's real life, like, you know, and you got to check yourself. You've been a sucker. That's real. Now, if Bob Marley was in this very same room saying the same things, you would take it dead serious, So that shows me that you a sucker. You know what I'm saying? You are a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to someone showing me things like this, I'm like, yo, 43 states of child marriage since 1957? Whoa. Yeah, so that's just something that how, that's just how I would be. That's how I am. That's why I can't stop. That's why it's a campaign, a movement. That's just how anyone else that's real would be. And the only sucker is you. You know what I'm saying? It's your approach to it. That's the sucker. You know what I'm saying? If you hear somebody, you know how these people are, they talk about children all the time, and you know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And then you hear that you got child marriage in your country since 1957, right? And you can sit with a nonchalant attitude. You know what I'm saying? You can sit with a nonchalant attitude. You telling me you're not a sucker. Oh, you're supposed to be real, right? Okay. But if Bob Marley told you this is why I keep saying this, because I know this is going to get the reaction I need. You know what I'm saying? I know this is going to get the reaction I need. If Bob Marley told you you got 43 states of child marriage in America, you're going to say, oh my God. That's what you're going to say. You're going to act like the world is in it. You're going to slump over like the pet that died. Oh God, hand me some tea. Hand me some pineapple juice. hand me some grapes. I need some snacks. I'm gonna pause this video. Let me get some snacks. You're gonna find it more entertaining than everything. But when somebody you don't know, or somebody you esteemed as an enemy, or somebody that the government esteemed as an enemy, by character trying to assassinate my character, I tell you this, and then you're nonchalant. But the information is credible and real though. That's the sucker in you, man. Like, I mean, that's real. That's like, check it for what it is though. Like people that watch my videos, yo, check it for what it is. Go check the community. Go check the people that you're talking to about it, right? Go check them, right? That's suckers, man. You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody else told them, right, just like I'm telling them, the same information is credible, right? They would die. They would some of them would have heart attacks or something. You know what I'm saying? Seizures, they may have some type of convulsions or something, man. You know what I mean? For Hispanic and Latino people, if Carlos Santana told you this, it would be a different situation. If Carlos Santana told you 43 states of America has child marriage, he made a video. See, I know who to pick. I know who to pick, man. I know who you respect. You feel me? I know who you respect. Okay? If Carlos Santana made a video, he's still alive. If he made a video and told you, yo, just found out, just want to make a quick video, found out 43 states of America has child marriage, just want to make a quick video to inform the community what's going on. Boom. You would listen. You be like a pet slumped over. Let me go get my salsa. Honey, make me some enchiladas. They got child marriage in America. We're having an early dinner. Put on the enchiladas. Make me some Kool-Aid. Huh? Matter of fact, bring me my snacks and stuff now. I can't believe this. See, that's what you would be like. If Michael Jordan said, yo, I just want to make a quick video. Not Michael Jordan told. You know how Jordan told got that deep voice. Yeah, I just want to make a quick video. Tell y'all. You probably have a hat on. Down low. I just want to make a video to tell y'all, I just found out greatest country in the world, as at least I esteemed it as that. At least I felt that way. I thought it was. And it's child marriage. Now, if Jordan told you this with all the baby Jordans he's made, all the baby Jordan gear you got, all these bad girls, what y'all call bad bitches, all of them gonna take a shower, stop the video, take a shower, put on a pink Jordan jumpsuit and some pink Jordans, dress the baby up in some Jordans and stuff, and put a snack, get a snack and some juice or something, and turn the video back on, fresh, watching Jordan talk about child marriage here in America. All the bad bitches gonna watch. Right or wrong? So see, all the bad bitches, you gotta check yourself. See, that's the sucker in you. That's the sucker in you too. Because you have to hear it from us. You have not elevated to receive information from anyone. I can receive information from a dog. If a dog tells me something, I'm going to listen. Wouldn't you? If a dog start talking, I'm listening to everything that dog say. I'm standing right there. Yo, what? Huh? Really? 43 states of child marriage? I'm going to go Google that right now. I'm going to ignore the fact that you are talking. I'm going to ignore the fact that you're talking. I'm not going to pay attention to that. This never happened. Okay? Between me and you, this never happened. You never talked. But I'm still going to check. You feel me? I don't care. I'm serious. That's what I would do. If an old person, a young person, if a kid say, America has child marriage. Say, what? What are you talking about? Come here. America has child marriage? What are you talking about? What you mean America has child marriage? What do you mean? They marry children. They have child marriage laws. Little smart kids. They have child marriage laws here in America. What do you mean they have child marriage laws? I'm getting on my phone right now. What you talking about, man? You tripping. Who told you that? Your mother? Now I find out, the kid was right. I don't care and many times I've done this literally. If somebody's on the streets homeless, I listen to them. I listen to every word they say. If I stop and have a conversation with them and we drinking together or even smoking together or something, the times where I used to smoke and drink, I am the type of person that will entertain every word they say because you find out the most interesting stuff from them and the most factual stuff from them, the most realist stuff from them. So I listen to everything they say. They on the streets for a reason. Some reasons you don't know. They could be very spiritual and rejected from society. The government could be against them. The Freemasons can be against them. You don't know why they're homeless. You just assume that you know. They could have been, every job they got, the Freemasons could have stopped preventing them from working. You don't know. How you know? You can't be certain of anything. And when I listen to every word they say. I listen to every word they say, and if they told me, if a homeless woman or man told me, yo, I just found out they got child marriage here in America in 43 states, I would listen. I would take it dead serious because I always listen to people on the streets. Like, what? Yo, for real? Like, dang, I ain't know that. I'm gonna go Google that. And I'm gonna go Google that when I go home. Matter of fact, let's look at this now. And boom, it's undeniable. But see, you the type of person that will dismiss somebody on the streets. You know what I'm saying? That's what type of person. That's why you can easily dismiss me, because you the type of sucker that would dismiss somebody talking on the streets. They could be talking real stuff that's going on, and you'll dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? Your messengers have to be rich and unique and rock stars. You know what I'm saying? That's the way you receive information. You have to receive information from only rock stars. That's what's wrong with your American community. They only receive information from rock stars. And if you look at how these Freemasons and all these secret societies are trying to prevent people from being successful, why would you only listen to successful people? I would listen to people that are not successful, because maybe they got prevented. You feel me? Maybe someone's preventing them, and I'm gonna listen to them. That's the difference between me and you. You know what I'm saying? Because some of y'all say, "Well, I ain't listen to nobody with no money. They ain't got no money. They ain't got nothing they can tell me." You sure about that? You sure about that? Because half of the people that has ever said something worthwhile didn't have a lot of money. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't have millions of dollars. Martin Luther King Jr. did not have millions of dollars. The last time I studied, I did not see that he was a millionaire. I did not see that he was a millionaire. Same thing with Malcolm X. I did not see that he was a millionaire. Yet, he had the whole country listening to him. Both of them. Okay? So, to me, it's the sucker in you to be selective with who you listen to. I can receive information from my enemies. The highest elevation of being a student is learning from your enemies. That's one of my quotes. I made that quote up. One of the highest elevations of being a student of information is learning from your enemies. I can learn from anybody. I will learn from, I don't care who it is. I'll learn from a racist. If a racist is telling me something, even if a racist tell me it's 43 states of child marriage, what? I'm gonna take that facts that that is not racist. He ain't gonna make me racist for listening to him say that or researching that. That ain't gonna make me racist. I'm able to glean that information out of the situation of the racist and get the goal of the information out that situation, and boom, voila. Now I am educated on child marriage here in America. See, I can learn from my enemies. I can learn from rich people. I can learn from poor people. Some people don't listen to rich people. It just disgusts them, that how much money they got, how their life is. You know, it just disgusts. They just don't like rich people. They just hate rich people. Some people are like that. Some people don't like celebrities. I found this out as I got older. They'll say stuff like, I don't keep up with those people. I don't. You've heard people say that. They're not hating. They just, I don't keep up with those people. I don't care about those people. I don't keep up with them. You know what I'm saying? I can learn from anybody. And this must be said moving forward in my movement, because See, you've been a sucker the whole time. You know what I'm saying? You heard this information. Now I'm calling you on it because it's getting real. You know what I'm saying? And all the suckers exposed. I'm exposing all of them. All this time I've been kicking this information. You've been a sucker. You know what you heard and everything. Now, if Bob Marley told you this, you know what I'm saying? You would took heed to it. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line, sucker. You know what I'm saying? And you would have took it totally different. Here's the other part. You would have reacted differently. You would have reacted differently. You would have reacted totally differently. If Bob Marley told you child marriage in America, boom, 43 states, you would have acted totally different. But when you don't like who it's coming from, or you don't understand, or you don't know the person it's coming from, you as Americans do not have the capacity to be 100 about be 100 with yourself in the situation. Like, I just been around real people. Like, if somebody's talking and they say something that's, I don't care who it is, that changes things. It's 43 states in America. Dang, that changes everything. I don't care what the situation was. That changes everything. That changes everything I feel. You know what I'm saying? And so it's really, man, just the suckers in people, man. You know what I'm saying? That's real. That's real. I showed you perfect examples. Now, it's the sucker in you to not listen to the examples to eat too. That's double the sucker in you. You a double stuffed sucker. You a double stuffed sucker. You know how you got the Oreos, the double stuffed Oreos? You a double stuffed sucker, man. When you can hear these examples and you know I'm right, if Bob Marley told you this, you'd be crying right now. Oh God. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you find out who are students of information when you with this test right here. Go find out who they like. And then tell them, like, yo, if I told you, say you like Bob Marley, you got all Bob Marley stuff. I noticed you got a Bob Marley shirt on. So if Bob Marley was telling you the same information, how would you react? And see, what a lame and sucker gonna do is, well, I'd be the same way. No, you wouldn't. No, you would not. In fact, you would be on your best behavior. Your energy would be different. Your vibration would be, you would be open to information. You would act like you're having an experience in the presence of Bob Marley. Just being in his presence, you would act, your soul would be open, right? And you would be open to information deposits. You would hang on to every word he say, right? Right or wrong. Okay, so you're lying when you say you would respond the same way, because your whole position of spirit would be different. Okay? And if he dropped that right in you when your soul is open like that and told you 43 states of child marriages in America, you would say, oh my God. That's what most of you would do. But when the man of God tells you that, oh, you see what I'm saying? Listen, just admit it, man. You're not as real and thorough as you're not thoroughbred as you thought you was. You know what I mean? And you slept on me. You know what I'm saying? And now, for all my people that listen to this, go check the people, check the community that know about this. They suckers, man. That's what I'm trying to show you. You see their response? They suckers. That's what I'm trying to show you. And that's why we can't get nowhere. Because really, check this. They not students of information. They take the same approach with all the information. Like they can't, you can't get them. No, they can't get the information to change this country because they suckers. They gotta hear it from certain people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got to do a message on itself. I got to do a message on this in itself. But I had to take time when it first came to me, like it did today. I had to take time to break it down. But the bottom line is this, man. You got child marriage from 1957 here in America. That's what you got going on. That's what you got. You got child marriage dating back to 1957. What that mean? What that mean is you had child marriage in all the 1960s, all that music, the year Malcolm X was assassinated, the year Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. You had music, you had child marriage then. In fact, they could have Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. being that child marriage dated back to 1957. They could have told you about child marriage. Okay? This is a flaw in their legacy. They didn't tell you about it. Family, you have to cover all the issues of family, and by law, the laws that the government has with the family and all of that. You know what I mean? Okay, so in the 1970s, you could have found out with all that music and all of that disco stuff, all y'all dancing around here in New York. Half of y'all didn't know about it. 1980s, Michael Jackson went solo. Well, he been solo, but he made the album Thriller. All that time, y'all didn't know about child marriage. 1990s, hip hop was full throttle, right? You didn't know about child marriage, right? All the music, all them rappers, none of them told you about child marriage. All the stuff they talked about political, right? You know them political rappers. You know what I mean? None of them told you about child marriage. It's funny, right? It's funny that nobody knows, right? It's funny that you got child marriage dating back to 1957. That covers all the culture. That covers all the music. That covers all the movies. And nobody in your culture came out of it. It's mind-boggling to me. I can't believe that. From the Black Panthers, from everybody. None of the Black Panthers told you this, did they? Now you see what I'm saying. Boom, that's 7 Al. Yeah, all these pro-black movements and all of these leaders and stuff, they ain't tell you, did they? That's what I'm trying to show you. That's why you got to give me my respect. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't give it to me, I'm going to take it. You know how I'm going to take it? I'm going to give it to myself. I'm going to tell myself and I'm going to tell my audience, look what I'm telling them. and I'm going to point out who didn't tell you. That's taking my respect. You know what I'm saying? And you think it's a game because that's the sucker in you once again. That's why I got to do a video on that. It's all you being the sucker. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what keeps this going in the direction that it's going. Because that's you the sucker. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm keeping it 100. This is 100. You got a sucker's approach to what's 100. That's what it is. Okay? And that tells you half of these people are suckers when it really comes down to it. Half of them can be violent. They can be violent. You can be a sucker and be a violent sucker. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean like Tupac said, it takes skills to be real. You know what I'm saying? It takes skills to be real, man. You know, just because you go out here and you got a gun, you could be a sucker. You still could be a sucker with a gun. You could be a sucker with money. You could be a sucker with a car. You could be a sucker with a woman. If you're a woman, you could be a sucker with a man. You could be that don't mean nothing. You still could be a sucker. You could listen. You could go to different countries and everything. You still listen. You could be international and everything, yo. Listen. There is no exemption from being a sucker. Okay? It takes skills to be real. You got to put yourself together, you know? You got to get yourself together. You know what I mean? And you know, because putting yourself together is all about not being a sucker. That's what it is. People don't understand. When you don't put yourself together, that's what makes you a sucker. Okay? Many people have themselves together externally with all the goods and things like that. But internally, they suckers. You know what I'm saying? And how they hide it is being violent. But you're still a sucker though. You know what I'm saying? And how I know is because you're uneducated. That's how I know. And you're not, and your life is not uh, navigating based on education, real education. So we have millions of suckers here, as you can see. Because if for me, some people go out and work anywhere, and externally they don't feel they're a sucker. But to me, I may feel to a degree that you are a sucker because you're working for somebody and you don't understand the situation. You know what I'm saying? You don't really understand what it is. So to me, that's why it's different degrees of this suckery, if you will. It's different degrees of it. But when you educate yourself, you'll realize, okay, I should have certain things. I shouldn't have to do that. And we could talk about starting from the bottom. We could talk about all of that. We could talk about, but at the end of the day, just what I said though. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to go dig no ditch. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying you're a sucker for doing it. I'm saying you're a sucker for being uneducated to show for what you could really be doing. And I'm not saying even go to school. I'm saying educate yourself to the point where you are ruling in this community, in this world. You know what I'm saying? If you're not ruling, if you're going along, in other words, it doesn't matter what position, job it is per se. Don't get hung up on the job position. It has to do with being submitted to a country like this. You know what I'm saying? In the way that you are. And to me, that's a sucker. You know what I'm saying? And so it's different degrees of it, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't tolerate any suckers, you know what I'm saying, that submitted to this country that got 43 states of child marriage, telling me anything, trying to see me, trying to see if I got the phone, trying to see what kind of man I am. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, some people get stuck on being employed and unemployed. Like I said, MLK didn't have millions of dollars. Malcolm X, I don't think he was working. The last movie I watched on him, they pointed out that he wasn't working. Okay, so that's what you label as a sucker. Someone that's not working. You see how simple-minded you are? You label somebody that's not working a sucker. That's what you do. If they not working, they not driving, they a sucker to you. You feel me? A sucker to me is someone that's not realizing with all this money, everything out here, everything is changing to where you can't even enjoy it no more. You can't even enjoy it. You don't know if you still could get COVID. Don't sleep on that. People still die from COVID every week. It's somewhere somebody dying from COVID. Keep that in mind. Okay? So with all these things that's coming in the world, money is not going to be enjoyable as it once was anyway. That's just what the world is coming to. That's part of it. That's the punchline that the devil didn't tell you. Well, he didn't tell you that the more evil the world becomes, you're not going to enjoy the money like you once did. Well, it's going to be too much going on. And in your own family. In your own family. So you could have millions of dollars, but your favorite auntie just got raped. How you can enjoy the money? You feel me? Somebody's mother is mugged and raped out here. You feel me? How you gonna enjoy the money? So you see my point? The more evil the world becomes, you're not gonna be able to enjoy the money like you once did, because it's going to affect. When you hear that, you don't really grasp the full capacity of what I'm saying. The evil could be in your family. The evil could be in your job, what you do. The evil of men to deprive you of certain things, all kind of different things in that situation. Money that you owe that you shouldn't owe. The evil of men on that situation. Just manipulations throughout the community. Evil in that, and you're not gonna. You may not enjoy it. You won't enjoy it like you once was, like you once did. Now, if you have God in your life, you have God in your life. Now you can enjoy it, because it's the joy of the Lord that you take with you everywhere. It's the Holy Ghost that gives you joy every day. So I'm not hating on having money. With more money, you can do more things. I'm just saying that a lot of people hide behind it, and really, if you take it away, you see the sucker in them. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about information. They have the man or woman they say they are. You know, you got to remember, being a provider is not 100% of being a man. Being a provider is not 100% of being a man. It's other stuff you got to do. It's a big job. It's a big job to be a man. And having money is not all it is to be a man. Okay? Go ask some of these men out here who children complain about them not being home all the time because they got to work. Daddy's never home. Daddy never spent time with me. Daddy never does this. I resent him. I hate him. But he's trying to provide, right? He thinks he's being, while he's at work, he's actually thinking about his children, him being the greatest dad in the world, providing and making overtime and doing all of this. And he prides himself on working for his family, right? Meanwhile, his kids don't look at it like that. His kids don't look at it like that. They want quality time. They want to be sit down and understood, and they want to look in their dad's face and talk to him. All of these different things. Okay, so it's like more to being a man than money. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, so it's easy for this society to hide behind that as well. I'm a man. You see my bank account? That's not all it is to being a man. You also have to be a spiritual provider. You have to provide spiritually for your family. You can't have your family around here spiritually bankrupt. They don't know the Lord. They don't know the way of the Lord. Your 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 children know more about the Lord than you. Your wife know more about the Lord than you do. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be the prophet of your house. You're supposed to be the spiritual leader. You know what I'm saying? So it's so much more to being a man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do a video about this in the future. It's just so much more to being a man. You know what I'm saying? And I know this. This is why I sit back and smirk at people, because I know they think they're more of a man than me, and they think I'm not. I don't realize what a man is, but I smirk at them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you got child marriage here since 1957, man. Since 1957. This is a new day for me. Literally this day. What's today? April 13th, I think. 12th. April 12th. This changes everything, man, because I really, like I said, I didn't know how far it went back. I just thought about the 70s, maybe the 80s, somewhere around in there, that child marriage probably was initiated somewhere around in there. But I didn't have any dates on it though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any dates. So this just clarifies everything, basically, concerning when it started, how long it's been going on, better to say. And now I see here in this country, we have had child marriage since 1957. Since 1957, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you got to look at, man. You know, this is the truth. Stop being a sucker and waiting to receive it from some hidden Messiah. You know what I'm saying? That's and your country is forever trying to approve or disapprove of Messiah. That's a complex that you have as a community. Soon as you find somebody, you either try to make him a Messiah or disapprove him of being a Messiah. Why don't you just listen to the messages? Why don't you start there? Why don't you start there? You got child marriage. That's enough homework for you. Instead of looking for a Messiah, worried about who's the Messiah going to be, or some leader for your community, who's going to be your king or queen, and all of this. Won't you start with the information that I'm talking about? Won't you start there? You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, many people have ADD. They got attention deficit. They sit up and pay attention to the wrong things. You need, and it goes back to being a sucker. Because your word, while I'm talking, you're trying to find contradictions. While I'm talking, you're trying to find a flaw. You're trying to find something fraudulent in me, right? You're trying to find if Babylon is in me, right? That's the sucker in you. You feel me? That's the sucker in you. That's part of the Babylon in you, really. Because Satan is the accuser. That's what he does. He accuses people. God does not accuse people. That's what Satan does. You know, that's the sucker in you sitting up looking for flaws in me, looking for some fraudulence in me. You know what I'm saying? That's not being real. That's being satanic. And I gotta do a video about that. All that testing people and accusing people and stuff. Satan is the accuser. That's what he is. And when I tell you just like that, you will check yourself. You know what I'm saying? And you'll check around you and see how people moving around you. You'll be like, wow, those are all satanic people. Yeah. That's what they do. They accuse. That's what the satanic kingdom does. Okay? That's what they do. Okay? And meanwhile, I done told you enough information to take the whole integrity of your community you call America. But meanwhile, you worried about who I am. That's the sucker in you, bro. That's what I'm saying. Now, let's go back to what I said. If I was Bob Marley, you wouldn't be worried about thinking about who Bob Marley is while you're talking to you, would you? You wouldn't be sitting there thinking about something extra, right? You'll have your head on right? That's what I'm trying to show you. That's the sucker in you. You think what you think is you're being a righteous approver. You're a righteous person that have the ability to say yay or nay on this person. I know who you think you are. I come from the South where the Africans come from, where West Africans came from. Okay? I'm four different types of African. I'm four different types of African. Okay? So you don't have no African intuition or African that I don't have. You understand me? And with the African that you think you got, that you think I don't got, you playing yourself. That's the sucker in you. Meanwhile, you don't know about your country with child marriage, but you think you got more than I do. But I just told you this information, but you worried about the in me, right? That's the sucker in you. It's not time for that. It's not time for that. It's time for people to open up their ears and listen. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. You don't need to be worried about who I am. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you need to be worried about who your country is. For real. That's what you need to be worried about. And like I said, if Bob Marley was in here telling you this information, you wouldn't be worried about who he is as a person. You wouldn't be thinking about it, right? That's disrespectful, right? He's sitting there, he's telling you about child marriage, but you reading in between. You feel me? That's why I'm trying to show you, like, it's really disrespectful, man. And you think you think in your mind you're being this righteous approval. You're a righteous African approval to say yay or nay on somebody, right? To validate somebody. I know what you think you're doing. But I'm showing you what's real about it, though. What's fake about it. Okay? It's a place and time and place for it and a season for it, too. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's sitting up telling you this information, it's disrespectful to be sitting there, like spiritually speaking. Let's talk about the vibrational part of it. It's disrespectful when I'm telling you information, right? But you're sitting here trying to read between me and I'm telling you this type of information. It's disrespectful, and it's the sucker in you to do that. It's the sucker in you, like you're a child, to sit up and think about something else. You see what I'm saying? Why I'm telling you this. Keep in mind, I've been around Jamaicans. It's not new to me. I've been around Mexicans. It's not new to me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing you think is out there. I wasn't born yesterday. Just my position has fooled you because how I move, you act like I'm new to the world. I'm not new to the world. Somebody sitting up here telling you information, but you focused on, well, I don't know if I trust. That's the sucker in you. It's a season for that. And this is what you need to realize on all that testing stuff that you're doing. Listen, man, it's a sucker in you when the information has already come out to keep on going in the wrong direction. Right. This person has been approved over and over again. God has showed you over and over again. This person is okay. Over and over again. It's the sucker in you. Don't blame God. Don't try to act like you're being some righteous person. You're not. Like, I'm African too. Don't try to act like you're being some righteous African approver of men out here to disapprove who's wicked and who's of Babylon. I know exactly how you think. And you're not doing that. What you're doing is being a sucker. Because God has already showed you enough information to validate that person. Now you're being a sucker. And in fact, it's a form of entertainment for you to stand out on the block and try to read me. You feel me? Keep it 100. And I'm not anybody's play toy. And that's why I'm going to start cursing. And a lot of people are going to start getting cursed in the process. You're going to get cursed because you've made a game of this situation of you being an African righteous approval over me to say yay or nay. And the season is already passed where people have seen, where we seen this person is right. But here you are still in the past seasons. Now you see what I'm saying. And that's most of these Americans. You in the past season, and I already been approved, buddy. But you have found it to be entertainment for you, and you can't let it go. You know how I'm gonna let you let it go? You know how you're gonna let it go? I'm gonna curse you until you let it go. Yeah, I'm a real African. I don't have to sing songs about it. Okay, you see it. You will see it. You will see it in real life. I can show you better than I can tell you I'm African. I can show you I'm African better than I can tell you I'm African. Yeah, you found it to be entertainment. It's not entertainment time. I don't care what you think about me now. You seen enough information to know what it is. Don't you see me with a woman? Don't you see me with a woman? Okay then. Then anything you're talking about with pedophilia or sexual deviance, that season is over. Bestiality, whatever else you want to talk about. What else you want to talk? Raping some rape? Yeah, they say I raped somebody too. Okay, all of that stuff you're talking about, okay, it's all clarified with the truth, with the facts of reality in real time. You've already seen in real time me with a woman, right or wrong. Okay, so for all the righteous approvers and all of that, I done been with a woman almost a year now. Yeah, a year now. That's why me and her talk the way we do. I've been with her. Next month will be a year. That quick, yeah. Half of y'all act like it's been 3 months. That's the sucker in you too. Well, you don't pay attention. Listen, you don't pay attention. So for you to come out every day after all of this, and I know you know I got a woman up here. This is for the neighborhood I live in the building I live in. I know you know that because you watch me too close. Okay? And you think you have some righteous root, some righteous cane to stand on to see me. You can't see me. Okay? I've been around real Africans. I've been around real Jamaicans. Okay? Listen, come on. You playing yourself, man. You're playing yourself. Okay? That's all you're doing. You're spinning your wheels and playing yourself. That's what you're doing. I'm from North Carolina. Keep that in mind. Yeah. We the root, buddy. For you Mexicans and for many other ethnicities that don't know no better, the most authentic Americans are from the South. Okay? We are the root. I'm from North Carolina. That's one of the most credible places as far as African American ethnicity. Okay? That's what many Mexicans don't know that. They play around with people they don't know. You don't know. You just think there's some flaky black guy, cornball guy maybe, trying to be Hollywood, something. You don't know. You watch a lot of TV, you see all these different characters. So I have to school you and show you, man. You know what I'm saying? Where I come from is the root. You know what I'm saying? As far as black people, I don't have anything to prove on that. I let them show who they are and who they think they are. They righteous African approvers. They think that's who they think they are. Okay, I'll let you think that. Okay, but meanwhile, I come from North Carolina. I got all that and all that stuff you talking about. All that little bit you got, in reality, I have 1,000,000 times more of that. Okay? That's what I'm saying. So you've seen enough information on who I am. Okay, this is a spiritual prophetic warning too to the people that sit out and do that and sit out on the block and it has made this entertainment. This is a spiritual warning. It's time. All of that time is past, bro. We're not gonna do this every day. I'm not gonna do this with you every day. You already know what it is. I know you know this woman is up here. You watch me too close. So you know a woman is coming in and out of this room, right? Okay, case closed. Whether you like it or not. Now you can be a sucker and act like you got something else to find or whatever, right? And you want to split hairs about what else I might be into and all of that. That's the sucker in you, bro. Not minding your business. You know what I'm saying? Once you see that I'm with a woman, case closed, sucker. You know what I'm saying?